Yo, what's going on, everybody out there? Mr. Sandman is signing back in and shit. Yes, sir. And now I'm about to do my Raw review. And Raw took place in Anaheim, California. Let's get to it. First, it starts off, you know what I'm saying, with an in-ring segment with Enzo and Kaz. Basically, Enzo, mentioning when Enzo mentioning that he was hollering at Sasha Banks last week or whatever, and Jericho was basically hating on him and shit. He called him John Bon Jericho. After that, Y2J shows up, interrupts them, calls Enzo and Kaz Spike and Chester from Looney Tunes, like what I was saying from before, like, hey, was really go Spike? Was really go Spike? The little dog and the fucking pit bull. I mean, the bulldog, excuse me, he was a bulldog. Then after that, Kevin Owens shows up and then, basically says, yeah, I got your back, of course. This dude was acting like, Y2J is a little, like, are you sure you got my back? He said, yeah, I got your back. Like Jim and Marvin Luther. Anyways, this dude calls Enzo a hip-hop hobbit and challenges him to a match. So they get their match started or whatever. This dude, Enzo, like, I'm not gonna lie, Enzo got a lot of work to do when it comes to his in-ring ability. His shit, he was very, very sloppy. It's like this dude Jericho was basically training him during the match. You can even hear Jericho even calling the moves out. And I'm like, damn. Like, the match is very slow paced. I like one thing that he does though, that DDT, when he jumps off the top turnbuckle or when he jumps off the apron and then just jumps and catch with the DDT. I like that. But other than that, he really don't have much moves. He's very sloppy in the ring. Like, this dude tried to catch him with the most stinkest Hurricanrana. This dude's Y2J just countered that shit and put him in the walls of Jericho. So after that, he breaks out the walls of Jericho. He ends up chasing this dude down to outside the ring. Then the Y2J comes back in the ring. And when this dude Enzo was about to come in the ring, Kevin Owens grabs Enzo by the leg. And while he was grabbing him by the leg, this dude Enzo just breaks loose, and then he ends up getting hit with the code breaker. So after he got hit with the code breaker, Big Cass came in with the sliding big boot and knocked this dude head off. So basically, this dude got himself disqualified. Well, he got Enzo disqualified, and this dude Y2J wins the match. So after that, Cass just challenges Jericho. I call him Jericho because you got Jericho and Kevin Owens KO. So put it together, Jericho. Fuck it. They're gonna put him in. They wanna fight them in SummerSlam in a tag team match. So it's gonna be Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Jericho at SummerSlam. It's gonna be a funny match. I see a lot of silly shit happening, but nonetheless, it may be okay. Then you get to a backstage segment with Foley talking to Stephanie McMahon on the cell phone. I was like, she's actually not there? I'm shocked. They actually letting these motherfuckers breathe? I am so shocked. Good. That's what they should do. Let Mick Foley and let Daniel Bryan breathe. Let them, what I'm saying? Let them, I'm not saying let them get over, but, let them establish themselves as GMs. So people can look at them like they can hold down a show without a motherfucking McMahon on a fucking Puff Daddy shit, always in the fucking videos, still in the spotlight. Anyways, I said that joke because, Diddy was on Raw, but I'll get to that a little later. So basically, Banks shows up and wants a handicap match against Charlotte and Brooke at SummerSlam. Love it. So Foley instead puts her in a match against Dana Brooke. And if Dana Brooke loses, then she's banned from ringside at SummerSlam. She accepts. After that, you got this dude, Braun Strowman, fighting a jobber. Typical squash match. This dude, of course, Byron Saxton went to interview the jobber. The jobber was just standing there looking scared. He didn't say a word. He was just scared to death. The jobber actually even got an entrance. I'm like, what? Let me find out. You got a little entrance? Okay, hey, fuck it. Most jobbers don't get no entrances. They just be like, choose a show starts. The motherfucker's right in the ring. The motherfuckers would be like, introducing Burt Webster. Some motherfucker like that. But anyways, it's a typical squash match. This dude tries to run out the ring and gets attacked. Catches him with the reverse choke slam. And then after this dude pins him, after Braun Strowman pins the jobber, this dude just grabs the jobber by his one leg and just throws him out the fucking ring. Like, wow. That was crazy. Moving on. You got the backstage segment with Foley and Diddy. These motherfuckers are sitting here talking about this whole Diddy shit for like 2 weeks. And this motherfucker only had like a 1 minute segment. This shit was so dumb. I understand he wanted to promote the whole Bad Boy tour. But it's like, you couldn't at least like been around for the main event or something to like go on commentary and, you could have still been promoting the tour. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, you had Diddy there. Like, use this motherfucker. It's like when they had Kevin Hart there. Like, you got these so-called relevant. I can't say Diddy's has much relevance like Kevin Hart. But you got these stars that, you know what I mean? Like, because you're trying to bring back that black fan base. And I know y'all are, given the fact of how this dude Mauro Ronaldo commentates. You got the opportunity to bring back your black fan base, and y'all dudes don't utilize that shit. I just don't understand y'all motherfuckers. It's like y'all backwards. Anyways, then the New Day comes, dude. 2/3 of the New Day, because Big E's still hurt. They come through rubbing this dude balls, of course, rubbing Diddy's balls. It was a funny thing though, when this dude Diddy was sitting there saying like, I'm gonna have Mace, French Montana, 112. Yeah, I think he said 112. I'm not too sure, but he definitely didn't say Craig Mack. Well, he's not even knowing the motherfuckers is gonna be there. And Mick Foley was like, is Faith gonna be there? I was like, wow. What the fuck you know about Faith, Mick Foley? Cut it out. That was a nice little funny part right there, unexpected part. But after that, this dude Diddy asked, so what's up with Big E's nuts? Pause, cause what happened with him, what the club did to him. So here goes Mick Foley. Oh, you can't say that on TV. You can't say nuts on TV, but later on in the show, when I get to that, I'm gonna get to it later on in the show. Just remember, Mick Foley said you can't say nuts on TV. So after that, there was like they just went to the locker room and just started. Who cares? The segment sucked. It really didn't get much across. All it was I guess Diddy paid them some money to promote his fucking Bad Boy tour. Then after that, they promoting on a commercial break saying that Flo Rida is doing the SummerSlam soundtrack, the SummerSlam theme song, I should say, and it's called "Who's With Me." This is the thing I'm talking about, yo. Y'all motherfuckers got SummerSlam in fucking Brooklyn. Why y'all couldn't get somebody else to do this whole SummerSlam concert thing or what may have you? You got fucking Flo Rida. Did Flo Rida even perform in New York before? Let us really be real. Like, comment down below, 'cause I don't think Flo Rida even performed in fucking New York. Why you have Flow Rider performing for? And there's millions of motherfuckers you could get. Known fucking rappers or what may have you could get from New York to perform at SummerSlam. Out of all people, y'all got Flow Rider. Like, I think this dude Flow Rider, yo, I already see that shit now. I won't be surprised if later on, like a year from now, Flow Rider might end up being a motherfucking wrestler for the WWE. Moving on. Like, then you got O'Neal versus Darren Young. Titus O'Neal versus Darren Young. Of course, Bob Backlund is in Darren Young's corner. It's a real sloppy match. And it was a short match. It was a whack match. Only thing I gotta say is that this dude, Titus O'Neal, did that one move. This dude, Darren Young, was sitting on the mat. And this dude, Titus O'Neal, caught him with a short arm clothesline. That was pretty inventive. I give Titus O'Neal that. But other than that, that shit was fucking stupid. Basically, Darren Young gets the pin by pulling this dude's tights. So I'm like, so this is the rivalry? Y'all just gonna keep pulling each other's tights? How do you expect me not to see a gay joke? Like, really be honest. Like, they making it too easy for you. Like, it's like y'all have a rivalry of pulling each other's tights. Moving on, man. You got, they promoted Bayley is gonna have to fight Asuka at NXT for the women's title, NXT women's title. Should be a decent match, what may have you. Moving on. Got the in-ring segment with Seth Rollins. Basically he was saying that this dude Finn Balor is like basically a rip-off of Seth Rollins, and he called Finn Balor Jared Leto, and he's Heath Ledger. Basically, it's a Suicide Squad stab, because everybody's saying that Suicide Squad was whack. I didn't even see it yet, so I can't say myself, how it was, but I definitely do want to see it. I just want to wait to see it with my baby, with my lady. I'm waiting to watch it with her. I gave her that promise and all that. But anyways, this dude is basically making fun of Balor's name, saying like, Finn Balor means what, warrior and demon king, or warrior demon, or what may have you. I forgot what it was, warrior demon or something like that. And he was like, that's a stupid name. That's like if I was to name myself Rambo Apocalypse. Corny. Yes, it was. So he basically just rants on and on about his knee injury, and how he basically he went through the rehab, and he still came back in time for SummerSlam, one of the 4 biggest shows. You know what I'm saying? And basically took a stab at Cena and Roman Reigns, saying that he beat Roman Reigns. Well, he conquered the Roman Empire, and he said some shit about Cena. Basically, he said he just beat them both. And then after that, he just drops the mic like, and it was not really much he said in the promo. Anyways, moving on to Sheamus and Cesaro. I like both of these dudes' entrances though. Like, I really like Cesaro's entrance when he does that James Bond / Superman thing. You know what I mean? I like that shit. I never really got a chance to explain, but I like that shit. You know what I mean? What they should do. Nah, they can't do that. I was gonna say have him go in a telephone booth, but nah, that would be pretty corny. That would be too corny, but I'll take that back. But this dude during the match, Cesaro showing off his strength with the slow suplex. And Sheamus is a big dude, so you already know Cesaro is a fucking manimal, man. Slow suplex on this dude. It was a very physical match too, very, very physical. Until this motherfucker Sheamus went and did that stupid rolling senton. Yo, I hate that move. That rolling senton move. That shit looks like it hurts you more than your opponent. Like you literally landing on your neck. You're landing on your neck and your opponent's landing on his back. Who do you think is going to be more hurt? I just never understood that move. It's like when Kennedy used to do that move, or Mr. Anderson, whatever you want to call him. He used to do that shit from the fucking second rope. Like, yo, my man, how are you not dead? You're landing on your neck. So basically, you know, after that, this dude Sheamus had a nice string of offense. Kept trying to pin Cesaro, but Cesaro kept kicking out, and Sheamus started getting frustrated. So basically, you know, that's how Cesaro got the best of him. He caught him with a roll-up and pinned Sheamus. So after that, you get to the 15 years in the making segment with Ville and Suplex City. You know, RKO. Randy Orton basically was you know, saying that Brock was a monster at OVW. He's mentioning that he was there with Shelton Benjamin, Batista, you know who's over there at the same OVW class. You know, they was saying that when he was in whatchamacallit, when they was in the locker room, they always seen Brock Lesnar as a specimen. Like, yeah, he's gonna go somewhere in this business. Like, he's definitely gonna make it far. You know, he mentions their road to stardom. He said they both won the heavyweight title their first time at an early age. You know, they basically was, you know, doing their thing until he said Brock just left, and he said that he was disappointed in Brock Lesnar for leaving. He thought he was better than that. He said, and after that, he was like, you know, he lost a lot of respect for Brock. So Brock was like, man, I don't give a fuck, basically, and he said that too. I don't give a fuck about Randy Orton. You know what I mean? He supersedes him. You know, he's like, he said, this dude Randy Orton, he's a star. Matter of fact, he's a star. I'm a mega star. You know, he said, like, you know, this dude's, you know, basically, you know, he'll crush Randy Orton and all that. And Randy Orton said, well, Brock Lesnar's sleeping, because all it takes is one RKO to send him to Viperville. And Brock was like, man, please, I've been a beast since I was 5 years old. I'm a machine. I eat, sleep, breathe, and shit out opponents. I love it, and I can't wait. He better come out with that shirt for SummerSlam. Eat, sleep, breathe, and shit out opponents. That shirt is gonna be tough. But that was that segment. You know, they just basically showed a video package of the highlights when it came to suplexes, F5s, and RKOs. Next up, got the fucking Dudley Boyz here trying to Sun Neville. Basically, I didn't even know Raw even had a preview show. Like, Raw preview, like, why? There's too much WWE going on. Y'all already got a fucking a pre-show for your pay-per-views. You need a fucking Raw pre-show? Why? And then y'all got Talking Smack. Y'all are doing too much. I understand y'all need content and stuff for the you know, for the network or whatever, but y'all doing too much of the same fucking thing. The fuck? Anyways, they basically said they was gonna break this dude Neville's leg or whatever, and he's not gonna be able to fly no more, and he needs to pick a partner of his choice. So everybody's all stoked, like, oh shit, let me find out somebody from NXT might come up. You know what I mean? This dude Neville might get somebody from NXT. This motherfucker went and got fat ass Sin Cara. Yes, fat. Sin Cara look like he fat. I'm like, yo, damn, what the fuck you been doing? Leave that sofrito and motherfucking gandulas and, you know, habichuelas and arroz con pollo with extra pork and all that extra shit, pork patillos. Leave that shit alone, Sin Cara. You looking wild crazy right now. But yo, this dude Neville is just a fun dude to watch, man. He's just so fluid when it comes to his moves. You know what I'm saying? The kicks, the flips, the Red Arrow, all that shit. Like, that's one thing I could say. Well, you know, that's one thing reason I said, like, you know, that's a good reason why they're bringing the cruiserweight division to Raw, just for Neville. So I can't wait to see him in some cruiserweight matches. And you know, this dude was basically mocking the Dudleys. He was doing like the fighting stance for the crane kick. Like, yeah, motherfucker, my ankle is good. My ankle is 200%. I could crane kick your ass right now. But after that, you know, Devon Dudley, of course, bums out to the fucking Red Arrow. And Sin Cara and this dude win. Sin Cara and Pac, Neville, whatever you want to call them, they win. So, no, they get to a backstage segment where Rusev looking in the mirror, you know, he's got a little suit on or whatever. And him and Lana's about to celebrate their wedding. So, you know, before the wedding, they showed Daniel Bryan showing up in the arena, because basically Mick Foley called him to let him to you know, basically straighten out this whole invasion thing that's going on between Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. So, you know, Rusev shows up with Lana. Lana comes out with her expensive ass dress, you know what I mean, showing off the $1 million legs and all that. You know, this dude here, of course, JBL gotta say his corny shit, fucking comparing them to fucking not JBL, excuse me. Who said that? I think it was Corey Graves, comparing them to Gaston and Belle from Beauty and the Beast. You know, basically had expensive wedding cakes and champagne in the ring. He was saying, oh, each of these cakes cost more than what you make in a month. That's what they was telling Rusev was telling the crowd. You know, Lana was trying to fucking talk. They was booing her. Rusev was like, you better respect my wife right now. Whatever, you know. So the nigga, this dude, Rusev was posing and all that shit. She kissing his muscles and like. After that, they showing wedding photos when they was on the beach getting married. So after they stopped showing the photos, it was a boring chant going on. And then after that, Roman Reigns interrupts them, and the crowd actually was loving it. See, this is how you book Roman Reigns. Now they're starting to get the point now, a little bit. Now people want to see Roman Reigns because this dude Rusev got so much heat on him. You know what I mean? Now they want to, you know what I'm saying? And you're not forcing him down our throats right now. He's not at the fucking, you know what I mean, the top of the card. He's in the mid card, where he needs to be right now. So people right now, they could tolerate Roman Reigns right now. He's in the right spot, fighting the right person. You know? Basically, he calls this dude Roman Reigns Sasquatch and Lana a mail order bride. So they start fighting and shit. Rusev beats this dude up in the corner with nothing but right hands. Then after that, this dude Roman Reigns retaliates and slaps this dude so hard, Rusev bumps into Lana, and then Lana falls into the cake. That's another thing too. What is y'all deal with cakes? Why y'all always gotta have motherfuckers like people with cake in the face? And what is y'all fetish for cakes? I don't understand that. Like, y'all did that same shit with like New Day like a couple of months ago. What is y'all deal with cakes? Are y'all promoting a bakery or something? Like, if y'all promoting a bakery, at least let them the superstars say that, yeah, I got this cakes from whoever, Entenmann's whoever. But don't just have these random cake fucking ploys. Like, everything is, like, every fucking rivalry ends with a fucking cake. Or it begins with a cake. Moving on. You know what I'm saying? Basically, they saying that they're gonna have a SummerSlam concert with Flo Rida and what the fuck? Who else? Fucking who cares? That shit's gonna be whack anyway. Moving on. You know, they had a backstage segment with Rusev, Lana, and Foley or whatever. Rusev and Lana, you know, they basically spazzing backstage. This dude Rusev, you know, he's like, he must pay for this. He must pay. You know how he talked to the Tasmanian devil and all that, start spazzing. So this dude just makes the match. Foley was like, well, okay, you're gonna have to fight this dude at SummerSlam for the US title, and that's it. Of course, Rusev is all mad and angry. That's the thing I hate. Why you got this dude like he's scared of Roman Reigns? You supposed to establish this dude as this beast. That's why I fucks with Bobby Lashley so much, because they don't have most of shit like, hold on, I want to fight you. No! He's a legitimate badass. Like, yo, I will fight anybody. I'm supposed to be a fucking monster. How can I be scared of you? Anyways, you know what I'm saying? They got the match between Sasha Banks and Brooke. You know, Brooke always with the lethal clothesline. I already see that shit now. When she ventures off on her own, they might end up making that shit a special move, because she really do got a lethal clothesline. You know what I mean? Well, basically, it was a short ass match. I had a lot of short matches. But she basically beats Brooke with the double knees. She catches Brooke with the double knees, pins her. Now Brooke is banned from ringside at SummerSlam. It's going to be Charlotte all alone against Sasha Banks. So at that time, it's going to be a moment of truth. Then they showed a Nia Jax vignette, you know, basically showing her destroying her competition on Raw. Then after that, they showed the greatest upset in WWE history with the 1-2-3 Kid and Razor Ramon. Oh man, that's some funny shit. And the shit that killed me is when this dude finished off Razor Ramon, when he caught him with the fucking moonsault, and while this dude had Razor Ramon pinned, this nigga 1-2-3 Kid faces him right on this dude's balls, like they was doing a 69 or some nasty shit like that. I was like, pause. But that was, you know, the greatest upsets in history match. I think that's the new thing they doing now. Greatest upsets in WWE history. I guess that's what they're doing now. So, but Finn Balor, after that, he has his video package in the smoky room and all that. Talking about you know, mythologies like from the Tuatha De Danann, and the talking about Finn McCool, the Dueling Hand, the Banshee, and the King of Monsters, Balor, or the King of Demons, excuse me. You know, Balor, basically saying that that's how he got his name, because he could put all of those monsters together, and that's how he became Finn Balor. And he could tap into all the powers. So basically, he's saying that he's gonna tap into all those powers at SummerSlam, and he's gonna bring the Demon King. So basically, that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be the Demon versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. And that's the thing too. Like, from afar, because I never seen Finn Balor from afar. I never seen Finn Balor fight before. Well, I never seen the Demon fight. And I was thinking like the Demon was on some different shit. Like the Demon who had like different moves. Only thing that's different with this dude is his entrance, because he crawls. But he still does, that's only the beginning of the entrance. After that, he still does that. Whoa, whoa. And the moveset is still the same. So I'm like, if this is alter ego, why don't you switch up everything? Switch up the entrance, switch up his moveset, switch up his finisher. Yeah, I'm doing the same fucking things. So what the fuck is the difference? All you did was give him dreads and fucking face paint. What is the difference? Well, anyways, the Demon will be fighting this guy at SummerSlam. Who knows? Seth Rollins might come in his alter ego, Rambo Apocalypse. Moving on, you had a doctor segment with the club. They basically making balls jokes, you know, like about this dude Big E, saying that he suffered from ring postitis, and they're basically giving the rest of the tag team division a heads up about ring postitis, saying that yeah, you better watch out, you know, you might suffer from that shit. So, and then they basically said they collecting balls, and they had two pickled deviled eggs. I mean, 2 pickled eggs in pickle jar, and I'm like, it was an okay segment, but collecting balls, pause. You know what I'm saying? But moving on, they had this dude Kingston versus Doc Gallows. You know what I mean? This dude Cole mentions, New Day having a title for 351 days. And shouts go off to Cole for doing this homework. For talking about how long Demolition had the World Tag titles. Had them for 478 days. So shouts go out to Cole for, doing homework and saying that knowledge, like that's definitely a thumbs up to him. You know what I mean? But anyways, Doc pins Kofi Kingston while after catching him with a flapjack. And then after that, they was gonna catch him in ring postitis, but Xavier Woods comes and saves Kofi. After that, you had the in-ring segment with Mick Foley. So he calls out Daniel Bryan. But they start rubbing each other the balls, saying, "Oh, you doing a good job at Raw. You doing a good job at SmackDown. Oh, you doing a good job at Talking Smack. Oh, you doing a good job in the Cruiserweight Classic." I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck ever happened to Vince McMahon saying, "I want some blood. I want motherfuckers to go for the throat. Y'all motherfuckers here rubbing each other balls." The fuck is this? But then he want to mention, this dude Daniel Bryan was basically talking slick shit on Talking Smack, saying, basically making fun of the Universal title, saying, what you gonna call it? What you gonna call it? Your other title, the Galactic title, basically saying all different types of space names, so to speak. So, after that, this dude Rusev comes out and starts rubbing this dude Foley. It was a lot of ball rubbing this episode of Raw. I noticed a lot of ball rubbing, and then this dude Daniel Bryan was like, "Oh, how you sucking up to this dude now? So you don't have to fight Roman Reigns at SummerSlam?" And he got a point too. Like, why you got this dude doing this shit? He's supposed to be this monster that just don't give a fuck. You got this dude scared of Roman Reigns. Come on. This shit is so unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Cesaro comes out and, there's a U.S. title shot because earlier that day, he beat Sheamus. And not only that, he beat Sheamus last week also. So he's like, "Yo, I thought you was a man of your word." But he was like, this dude, Rusev is already booked for SummerSlam to fight Roman Reigns. But you know what? You can fight this dude Rusev right now for the U.S. title. So we got an impromptu U.S. title match for the main event. So this bitch JoJo's is gonna introduce them. This dude spazzes on JoJo again, saying that no, you say my fucking name first. What the hell did I tell you? What did I tell you last time? So Cheese says his name first, and then after that, they start fighting. Rusev, him being smart, starts